Okay, so today is June 12th, 2022, and back in March, late March, I started an arrow garden, and I quickly realized that I kind of outgrew it. Once I got to learn a little bit more about hydroponics, I wanted to start all kinds of stuff. It's very addictive, it's fun, it's a fun hobby. Um, Before March, late March, I knew nothing about hydroponics. Um, so you can see I have a lot of things going on. These smaller containers are all food grade containers that we've saved. This tote is pretty common, like a utility tote you can get from Home Depot, Menards, Lowe's. Here's just a regular tote. I don't know if there's any kind of residue or anything to worry about if it's not food grade. The bucket is actually a food grade bucket. So when I started in the arrow garden, there are only 2 plants that are still going. The rest moved out to our garden outside. Everything you see but this tomato plant and this basil back here, they actually are the only 2 that started in this arrow garden. And you can see the small net cup that actually fits in this. And this tomato plant, which it's actually starting to make tomatoes for me. This was a tomato plant that my wife talked me into saving. What happened was when I took it out of the arrow garden, it must have had some rot on the stem and it broke off completely. And I was just going to throw it away, call it a loss, but I stuck the tomato plant into some water with nutrient, like I'm gonna try to save this pepper plant. It was, I just about threw it away, but I thought I'd try it again. It looks like it's coming back, and I might actually plant it in something. But this is, I guess, what you call a clone, maybe. In the comments, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but it was basically just the stem of the tomato plant, no roots, and it actually rooted, which is, I kind of knew about that from planting tomatoes in the garden. You can plant most of the tomato, 2/3 of it at least, and it'll root out from its stems. But I have, starting over here, I have a sweet pepper, or a sweet Italian sweet pepper. These we went on a garage sale, and a guy was selling them at the garage sale, and he said they'd been in the family for 50 years, the same line of plants as seeds, and they are healthy, at least compared to, I should say, everything that I have going on. These are really healthy. And they're actually starting to flower and make some peppers, and I hope they make a full-size pepper, because I've heard that in hydroponics sometimes you can get smaller peppers. Sometimes the taste is not as good, but we're going to find out. I have a little bit of cilantro going, just started it. I have iceberg lettuce back here. I have romaine. I have a jalapeno pepper, another romaine. I have some jalapeno starts I'm not sure what to do with yet because it's already June. And then my basil. We harvest it once a week, and I'll put it in pizza sauce or even on salad sometimes. Here is a sweet tomato, or a cherry tomato, and it is not looking good. I noticed my parts per million on my nutrient was only around 1200, and I bumped it way up, and I'm hoping it'll make a comeback. I think my parts per million on this tomato plant is like 2,500, and this was only at 12, so I bumped it up to like 2,800. If it doesn't make it, that's fine. I'll use something in place of it, but we'll experiment for now. I have some arugula growing, and I have all iceberg. These are all iceberg lettuce. And if you happen to be watching this and you already know a little bit about hydroponics, maybe you can enlighten me here. I think it has something to do with actually the light. This being a more of a pink, a red colored light. It's supposed to be full spectrum, but so is this, which is kind of a normal light. It's more of a white light, but it's supposed to be full spectrum also. But here's the thing: is these romaine, or these icebergs, have a pink. They actually have a pink color to them, which doesn't bother me. But this one is the same seed, and it's just a beautiful green. And I'm pretty sure it has something to do with the light. But if you happen to be watching this and you know something about hydroponics, maybe you could let me know in the comments if this is actually a problem, or maybe this isn't the right light for lettuce. My tomato plant seems to love, it kind of favors this light, and maybe this one's too bright. They're both 600 watt equivalents. This is a bloom spec. The other one is a don't even ask me, faceta maybe. But this I also have on a deep, I guess you'd call it a deep water culture. I have a bubbler back here for fish aquarium bubbler, and I have 2 stones in here which are bubbling, and maybe that has something to do with the color. I don't believe so, but so yeah, I just want to give an update. I might update these a little bit more. If you're interested in this, leave a comment, and I can make a video every once in a while. One more thing is we bought the kids saw this Venus flytrap at Lowe's a couple months ago, and they wanted it. So we got it, and it kind of just started turning dark and looked like it was dying. We haven't given it any nutrients because it's supposedly you're not supposed to give these things anything. They don't like it. So we just water, just RO water, a little bit in the bottom of the plate, just so it can kind of bottom feed. But we've noticed in the last few days that it's actually making a comeback. This thing looked like all this looks bad, except for it's making a comeback. And I don't know if you know, again in the comments, do they go through cycles? Do Venus flytraps go through cycles where they kind of maybe die off and come back, or is this thing supposed to be growing and growing and growing? Also, if you have any tips on Venus flytraps, be sure to take them here. But yeah, from that, and that only lasted, I would say, a month. I was moving things to the garden, and I just realized how easy it was to start little systems. These are all crack key systems, except for the iceberg over here. But I realized how easy it is just to get rock wool and the clay pebbles and the nutrients. I have bought, this is a very expensive hobby, but it's fun. I don't know if it'll really pay off. Again, in the comments, if you think it pays off, let us know. But right now it's just a hobby that I needed. I didn't have too many hobbies, and this has worked out perfectly. And this is just in our utility room down in our basement, so it stays about 68 degrees It's a little cooler on this side of the basement, so everything's happy for the most part. We do have, you know, some things going on here, you know, and I don't know if that's just because the light's not hitting it, but it's all a learning experience. So there you have it, just a little update, and let us know in the comments if you're interested in seeing more of this. All right, well, thanks for watching, and we'll see you on the next one.